At the table. To be at the table means you have a voice. To be part of the conversation means that you get to share your ideas, your wisdom, your experience, your concerns, and those of the community that you represent. To be at the table means you get a vote and can take part in the decision-making process. In 2008, I found myself at the Singularity University table next to giants in entrepreneurship and technology. Individuals like Ray Kurzweil, futurist, author of the bestseller Singularity is Near, inventor, he's considered one of the geniuses of our time. Peter Diamandis, founder of the International Space University, the X Prize, also author of the current bestseller Abundance. And we had pioneers in artificial intelligence, robotics, stem cells, biotechnology, nanotechnology, and we're at NASA. And then there's me, the woman at the table. Now, SU is a really fantastic place. It's a global family. Out of 3,000 applications a year, we accept 80 individuals to join us for 10 weeks, design a solution to impact 1 billion people. My contribution to SU was heart, was to make sure, to link, to create in the DNA that is our organization, friendship, kindness, respect, the power to share, collaboration, of equal value to risk-taking, innovation, technology, leadership. Now, SU would not exist without Peter or Ray. But Singularity University would not be the kind of organization that it is today without all of the voices, including mine, at that table. Who are the voices of today? Now, historically and now, we have incredible individuals that we're inspired by, that we want to be like. Individuals through whose ideas, policies, or companies have touched us in some way or another. You know, these are individuals like the tech giants of Microsoft and Apple, Larry and Sergey from Google, Mark Zuckerberg now of Facebook, historically Albert Einstein, the first man to walk on the moon, Neil Armstrong, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, Michael Jordan. You know, from our first president, George Washington, to Lincoln, to now President Obama. You know, they come in all shapes and sizes, in all disciplines, of all ages. You know, these are incredible individuals. Gandhi, Mandela, Martin Luther King. And we can go on, right? Da Vinci, Van Gogh, Picasso, Steven Spielberg, Humphrey Bogart. Game changers. Where are the women? Where are the female game changers that all of us collectively also want to be like, that we're inspired by? Now, women, we do exist in the world. Out of 7 billion people, we represent 50% of the total population. Women also produce half of the world's food, and we work 2/3 of total working hours. And yet, we only earn 10% of the world's income. We only earn 1% of the global property. And today, women represent 70% of the poor. Now, what about in the United States? Population 300 million. Again, women, 50%. And we're fantastic for this economy. Our purchasing power is at $5 trillion, and actually some estimates today are at $7 trillion. Yet, we're only 4% of all CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. In the Supreme Court, we've only appointed 4 female Supreme Court justices, not yet a Chief Justice. In the US Congress, we make 2%. And in our history, we've had 12,000 congressmen, 200 congresswomen. No female president yet. Now, what about in our state, Georgia, the Peach State? Let's see how we're doing. 9.9 million people. Again, women, half of the state population. Awesome. No female to the US Senate. Currently, no female in the House of Representatives. In our 200-year history, no female governor. Today, at our nation's table, there is no woman representing Georgia. Okay, let's bring it to campus. University of Georgia, go Bulldogs. This is us, right? Population 44,000. Women, a little over half of campus. And our voice is really strong. Our top two majors, education, journalism. Not so strong, business, technology. We're 1/3 of faculty and no female president for the University of Georgia in our 200 years. Now, if we are 50% of the world, 50% of the US, 50% of Georgia, 50% of our university, why are we not 50% of the conversation? Now, women, we've led tables, plenty of tables. These are the wonderful tables where we are champions. What about these tables? What about the UN, NATO, the White House, the G20, the G8? Tables where global policy is being made. Now, my suggestion is we need to just add women. At Women at the Frontier, we are focused on identifying the female game changers from around the world and connect them to add our voice as part of the conversation. These are incredible women. We just heard from Cynthia Kenyon. She's extended the lifespan of a worm and now is working on longevity for humans. It's Kate Koplovitz, who created the Sci-Fi Channel. It's a 22-year-old called Hannah Chung who's created a teddy bear for children with diabetes that helps them monitor their diabetes level. It's Nichelle Nichols, the first Lieutenant Uhura of Star Trek. She's been the first interracial kiss on TV. And these are some other women that I'm inspired by that I want to share with you today. Grace Hopper, first computer programmer. High school student Angela Zhang, game changer in the making. She's already working on breakthroughs and cures for cancer. Amy Purdy, double amputee, lost both of her legs and a kidney when she was 19. It hasn't stopped her yet. She's a 3-time gold medalist in Paralympic snowboarding. This is the oldest living woman today from Japan, Misao Okawa, 115 years old. And the first female African-American astronaut in space, Dr. Mae Jemison. Incredible women, all of them. They have wisdom to share as mothers, as daughters, as sisters and wives, but also as entrepreneurs, as pioneers, as innovators. Now, these women didn't wait for a place at the table. They built their own tables. Perhaps it's time for us to consider if the voices at the table actually represent the collective us. Imagine what we are missing out on in imagination, creativity, ingenuity, potential opportunities, when half of us are not part of the conversation. After all, we have Google thanks to Larry and Sergey, but also because of a woman named Grace Hopper. Now, my story is not of taking the road less traveled, and I am not on the road already paved and shiny, much as I wish to and my family would like. My journey is of taking the road I didn't even know existed. I grew up in Honduras, Central America. My parents were in the Peace Corps. My degrees are in anthropology and law. I worked on international litigation and diplomacy, somehow ended up in Silicon Valley, launching a few startups and fusing entrepreneurship with technology and humanity's grand challenges. What are the goals that we want to achieve as a world and as a community? And are the conversations that we are having today good enough to get us to those goals when there is a silent majority that's completely missing from the conversation? Today, I'd like to invite all of you, but especially the ladies, to find your voice and come and join us at the table. Thank you.